I'm Graham Spire from the American section at the Lycée International de Saint-Germain-en-Laye. The BFI diploma has recently been announced and has sparked many questions. People have heard of the BAC, the IB, the OIB, and now the BFI enters the scene. In this short video, we'll untangle these terms, explain the essence of the new BFI, and give some tips on learning more. Let's start by clarifying these easily confused terms, not least because they are French acronyms. The starting point is the French baccalauréat. The BAC, as it's commonly known, is a diploma at the end of the French secondary school. It's the counterpart of the US high school diploma, the German Abitur, the European Matura, or British A-levels. The BAC has its roots in the 13th century, when it was the first degree awarded as part of advanced study. Fast forward to the 1960s. The International School of Geneva created an international high school diploma and called it the IB, or International Baccalaureate. Despite the similarity with the acronym OIB, the IB is not connected and is not part of the French educational system. The IB is still in wide use today around the world, outside the French system. In 1985, the French government launched its own official international diploma, called the OIB. Think of the OIB as a particularly demanding enhancement of the BAC. It includes the full native French BAC curriculum. It adds to it language, history, and other coursework in the second language and culture of the student section. Starting in September 2022, the OIB will be phased out and will be fully replaced by the BFI. Graduating students will receive a BFI diploma. The new name is more fitting. Instead of being called an international option, it is the French International Baccalaureate. So what exactly is the BFI and how does it differ from the OIB? The BFI is an evolution of the OIB. The BFI puts greater emphasis on students' oral presentation and argumentation skills, and on a deeper understanding of how their section's culture fits in a broader world context. Let's look at what's the same between the OIB and BFI, which is most of it. BFI students will continue to follow the full French national curriculum that makes up the standard French BAC, including the choice of specialty subjects and optional subjects like an additional language, art, and Latin. BFI students, like the OIB students before them, will continue to have about 8 hours a week in their section. The BFI has 3 flavors, either bilingual, trilingual, or quadrilingual. The first 2 requirements in all these flavors are the same as the existing OIB requirements, but with new names. Under the BFI, the new term ACL includes the language and literature previously called ENL. The new term DNL includes the history and geography previously called ENH. What is new in the BFI is the component called Connaissance du Monde, World Knowledge, or CDM. The Connaissance du Monde component will require schools to add to their curriculum, addressing 3 themes with particular reference to the country of their section: exploring contemporary social issues, becoming a global citizen, building a healthy future. In addition to new coursework, each student will do a personal project based on their interests, working with a native contact in the country of their section. The culmination will be an oral presentation in their final year. These pie charts summarize the evolution from OIB to BFI, showing the breakdown in points for each subject in the BAC. The green shaded areas represent the tronc commun, basic BAC subjects that everyone must cover, whether for the BAC, the OIB, or the BFI. The orange sections are the students' specialty subjects. The blue section represents the subjects taught in the foreign section. You can clearly see how the share is increasing, from 25% of total points under the OIB to 40% under the BFI. You can also see how that 25% under the OIB consisted of 2 subjects, while the 40% under the BFI now contains the additional third subject, CDM. All schools will offer additional optional classes such as math, Latin, music, or art. These do not alter the fundamental distribution in the pie charts. So what is driving the shift to the BFI? The rationale, as stated by the French government, includes the following. The work in this section is not merely linguistic. It is meant to deepen one's understanding of the world and our place in it. The core bac already emphasizes oral skills with the grand oral. The BFI adds even more focus on presentation and argumentation. It has 3 oral exams, DNL, ACL, and CDM, as well as a personal project with a major final presentation. Greater emphasis is put on research skills and deeper multidisciplinary knowledge of a current topic, as well as collaboration in the special project. The changes from OIB to BFI only affect students in the final 2 years of lycée, première and terminale. The curriculum taught in the international sections at all other levels remains unchanged. Students entering première in an international section in autumn 2022 will be the first to spend their last 2 years preparing the BFI. The first BFI exams will thus be in 2024. Now that we have the general picture, it's important to note that individual schools have great latitude in implementing the BFI. For example, how to add coursework to meet the CDM requirements, how to structure the personal project, and how to implement the new multilingual pathways. Some schools, for example, have decided to use AP courses as part of their approach. There are many open questions as schools navigate these new BFI waters. For this reason, we've created an online portal called BFICentral, a central place to share best practices and to find copies of the latest news and official bulletins and regulations in both French and English. We'll also have regular webinars where people from schools implementing the BFI can share what they're doing, what's working well, and where they might ask for input from others. So stay tuned, and thanks for listening.